Thank you for joining my masterclass today. Now, today we're going to be talking about 4 apps that enable you buy US, UK, European stocks from Nigeria. Now, that's 4 apps that enable you buy international shares, meaning US, Canadian, UK, and continental European stocks from Nigeria. Now, these are 4 apps. Now, the background to this is that I think a couple of days ago I did a video and it went viral. And what I said in that video is that, the worst place for your money to be in the year 2022 is in a bank. Whether they're giving you interest rates, the worst place for your money to be in is in the bank. Now, this is not just specific to Africa or to Nigeria or to the United States. This is everywhere. This is everywhere because you have to understand that banks will never give you an interest rate that is higher than inflation. So when you put in your money in the bank, you're getting an interest rate that is far below the rate of inflation, the inflation rate. And then when you factor in things like devaluation, at the end of the day, your money is just disappearing like a block of ice that you've taken out and you've put under the hot sun. So it's just shrinking and just shrinking and just shrinking. And I'll give you a very good example. Now, we are in January of 2022. Now, a year ago, January of 2021, if you had a million naira, if you're in Nigeria, now this video is for, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing it for Nigerians. There's a specific reason. I normally do my videos for everybody, but there's a specific reason. If you had a million naira in the bank in Nigeria, now that money as at January of 2021, which is exactly 365 days ago, would have been worth something like $2,500. Now, let's say the bank gave you an interest rate of 10%. Now, no Nigerian bank is going to give you an interest rate of 10%, but I'm just being generous for illustrative purposes. Now, fast forward to January of 2022, fast forward to today. Now, that money will now be worth, with 10% interest, will now be worth 1,100,000. Now, with 1,100,000 today in Nigeria, you can't buy $2,500. So you could probably buy maybe $1,950. So now you see that although your money appears to have grown, when you factor in inflation and you factor in devaluation, you find out that your money has actually shrunk in size. So it's just like magic that the economy is using to deceive you that you're getting more money when in fact you're getting less money. So the worst place that you want to put your money in is in banks. Now, what do you do with your money? Now, I explained to people, I said the best place for your money to be in is to be invested in an index fund. And what's an index fund? I explained in my earlier video, and I'm going to put that video in the description box of this video for those who didn't watch it so that they can follow along. Now, an index fund is a fund that is tied to the S&P 500 index. Now, the S&P 500 index is an index that monitors the 500 largest corporations in America by market cap. And so there's an index. So at any point in time, that index contains the 500 largest corporations in America. Now, this index has a 96-year history. And in that 96 years of history, it's never failed. So the index, if you invest in the index, traditionally over that 96 years, there's no guarantee. You have to understand this is a risk. There's no guarantee. Everything when you invest is a risk. But for the last 96 years, it's been shown that you get an average yield of 10%, between 8 to 10% interest on your money every year. Now, in the last 10 years, it has done better. So it's been giving between 10 to 15% on your money in the last 15 years. So when you buy an index fund, you go. So these are brokers that invest your money in shares and stocks of companies that are listed in the S&P 500 index. The S&P just stands for Standard & Poor's, which is one of the top rating agencies in the world. There are two of them at the top of the totem pole. One is Standard & Poor's, the other is Fitch. There's a third one which is not as big, it's called KPMG. So those brokers, and I gave you a list of those brokers. I gave you Invesco QQQ, Vanguard and Russell, Vanguard S&P, and I gave you 7 of them. So the video is going to be in the description box. Now, that's the safest place to invest your money. Some people wrote back to me and they said, "Oh, Mr. Reno, you're trying to help people, especially in the third world, in the underdeveloped world, but what you're advising people to invest their money in America. You're not being patriotic. You're not practicing what you preach." You see, that is small-minded thinking. What is the use investing your money in a place like Tanzania, in a place like Ghana, in a place like Nigeria, in a place like Cambodia, in a place like Thailand, and then after a year, like investing in Nigerian shares? I tried that a long time ago, and then with devaluation and inflation, I got back less than what I put in, even when it seemed as if I got back more. But when you factor in, no, what's the point? I mean, why should you lose your money to prove that you are patriotic, that to prove that you've got principles? No, invest in America, invest in this S&P 500 index, but then when you get your profit, take your profit out and spend it in your country. That makes more sense. That means you're making money from America and then you are bringing it capital flight from America to your country. Does that not make more sense? It makes more sense. I think it does make more sense. And that's what I'm teaching. So now, when I did that video, some other people wrote to me and said, "Oh, we contacted the 7 brokerage firms that you listed because there is no U.S. citizenship requirement for you to invest in the American Stock Exchange." So these firms, they tend to have international departments that take clients from all over the world. But the problem or the challenge that they have is that they have minimum investment requirements. So people are saying, like, some of them are asking for $25,000. So I think the minimum or some that they're asking for, was about $10,000. There was one for $2,500, but it's not very big. And I don't like companies like that because they don't have a lot of history. So they said to me, "Please, can you tell us alternative ways by which we can invest in the US stock market without going through these guys?" And you know what I do? I am a researcher. I've got a team of guys that work for me. We also research. So we researched and we found 4 apps that by which you can invest directly from Nigeria. Now this is tailored to Nigeria because a lot of those emails, a lot of those questions came from Nigeria, from which you can invest from Nigeria directly in the US, UK, Canadian, and European stock. Now the first one is Trove. Now Trove is an app. It's available on on Android. It's also available on the iOS. So it's available for you if you're using Android or if you're using an iPhone. You can download the app. Now the beauty about Trove, it's owned by Trove Technologies Limited. So I sent my staff to verify. They're in Lagos, Nigeria. They are a real firm. They've been around for a while. I think that they've been around for about 4 years. So like they're stable. And then the beauty about it is like their app is rather like the S&P's app itself, where they have research tools. You can actually research on their app. It's going to flash up on the screen. You can research on the app before you buy shares. And the beauty of it all is that they allow you buy shares with as little as 1,000 naira. Just look at that, with as little as 1,000 naira. So there's no minimum. Well, there's a minimum, but 1,000 naira, you can afford 1,000 naira. Almost anybody can afford 1,000 naira. So that's the first app. Now the second app is similar. It's called Chaka, like Chaka the Zulu, Chaka. So you can also get it also on Android and iOS. Now they also allow for you to buy stocks with as little as $1,000, but they don't have as much research tools as Trove. So Trove will be at the top of the totem pole for me. You can go through all of this and you can make your own decisions, but Trove will be at the top of the totem pole for me. Now the next one is Rise, just very easy, like rise up, rise. So it's very, very easy. So you can also get that iOS, Android. You can get that Rise is also quite good because it allows you also to make to buy shares with as little as $1,000 or as little as 1,000 naira or $10. Next, you have Bamboo. Now I've told you guys about Bamboo, so you guys are no strangers to Bamboo, so I'm not going to talk about Bamboo. I actually did a whole video on Bamboo. Bamboo is the most user-friendly of all the 4. It's the most user-friendly. It doesn't have research tools the way that Trove has. So Trove is more analytical, more cerebral, but Bamboo is very user-friendly. So you can watch my video on Bamboo. Now, my name is Rano Mokri. If you've watched this video and you have questions arising from this video, you can drop them in the comment section. My staff are very, very good at curating comments and bringing them to me. I respond to the comments myself. So when you see responses on YouTube, it's me. You got to be careful. I do not have a WhatsApp forum, Telegram channel, or Gmail email address. Scammers have seen that my videos always go viral, and then they create fake YouTube profiles, and then they begin to poach people, they begin to approach people, lure them, they tell them guideline, I will help you, one-on-one mentoring. That's not me. Click on their profiles, you will see that they have 10 or maybe maximum 20 followers. I've got hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube, and I've got millions on social media, and my social media platforms are verified with that blue tick. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.